Hello, Skeeter Nation, and now the moment you've all been waiting for, an exciting discussion of the Tardy Policy for the 1920 school year. I know you've been waiting for this moment. This summer I met with a committee of teachers. I emailed out to the staff and I asked for some feedback about our Tardy Policy. We got a lot of good ideas and interesting information. So we want you to know that this is kind of a compilation of everything that we talked about, what we believed we could implement this school year effectively. And so without further ado, here we go. The first thing that came up is that we really need to be consistent. It doesn't matter what our tardy policy is. If people aren't willing to all kind of do it the same way, then it's going to present problems and it's not going to be very effective. For example, the very first thing that we need to come up with is the definition of what is a tardy. Some people have different thoughts about when a kid is tardy. But in talking to kids, there were many kids in the halls after the bell rang. And this is towards the end of the school year, and I would try to shoo them on to class, and they'd go, it's fine. My teacher doesn't care. So having said that, I know that's not the case with most people, but I know it is the case with some, because I even talked to some teachers who admitted that was the case. But we're going to have to do the same thing, implement it, and hold kids accountable. So tardy, what is not tardy is if a kid is in the classroom or entering the classroom. So we all kind of need to be on the same page about this. The good thing is that since we are all going to be at our doors greeting students as they arrive each period, it will be very easy to see whether a kid is on time or not. If they're already inside the room or while you're standing there when the bell rings, they're coming into the room, then let them inside and begin your class. Please do not slam the door in the face of a student. I don't think that's going to go well. This will be really great because teachers are going to be in the hallways also during class periods. So our kids that like to wander after the bell is already rung, we are going to have teachers on duty in the halls, and I think that will help the situation as well. So you may be asking, a kid is late, now what? So what you're going to need to do is get on the hub, which you're already on the hub, but when you're done watching this video, you're going to download under the documents the tardy log. You need to make a copy of this for each of your classes. When I was teaching, I did something similar, not exactly the same, but similar, and I put them on a clipboard. And kids knew that when they came in late, they had to sign the clipboard. That way I could keep track of how many tardies they had. I've had some teachers complaining, well, my kid doesn't do that. They're going to write a wrong name down. They're not really going to sign it. So you are going to have to hold kids accountable. So what I would do is I would keep teaching. I would walk over as soon as they signed and sat down, walk over, glance at my sheet, see that they had written the correct name and date down or whatever, and then I would move on with my life. If they had not, then I would just kind of motion to them to come back and have them write it right there. Another thing that we need to remember is that once a kid is 10 minutes late, that's going to be a partial absence, and they will have to go to the attendance office to get a pass. When they do that, our attendance clerks go ahead and fix that as a partial absence in Skyward right then and there, give the kid a pass to class. An interesting fact that I found out this summer is that actually the district policy is that first period A day, fifth period B day, so your first class of each day, that partial absence does not kick in until 20 minutes. So we haven't been following along with that because I was unaware of it, but we are going to go with it now because it's a district policy. So for first period A day, fifth period B day, if a kid arrives up to 20 minutes late, they're just going to sign your tardy log. After that, they will come to the office to get a pass, get their consequence assigned, and we will label it a partial absence. All right, so what are the consequences? They're pretty similar to last year, but we did change them somewhat. We had some issues with it, but again, I don't feel like it was being implemented well. I'm not sure everybody watched the videos. In fact, I know they didn't because I had many confessions at the end of the year that, oh, I didn't even know we were supposed to do that. Well, did you watch the video? Oh, video? What? So, having said that, it's all good. This year we're watching videos, and so we should all be on the same page. First tardy is going to be a warning. Everybody's late every once in a while, so I think it's fair to give a warning for one tardy. On the second tardy, you are going to give it a consequence. It's going to be the consequence of your choice. So you get to decide what that is. It could be a 15-minute detention. It could be tutoring. It could be sending home, take-home detention, some kind of worksheet or something like that with the kid. But that is yours and it needs to be documented. The third tardy also needs to be a consequence that you give. I'm going to ask you all to actually implement these consequences. I would have kids come down last year on the 5th tardy with the office referral, and I'd say, okay, well, what'd your teacher give you for the 3rd and 4th tardy? And they go, nothing. Like most of the time, that's what they said. And so we can't have that. We've really got to actually do the steps of this policy. Now, the teachers that I met with said it would be great to have a form where they could fill that in, and maybe a duplicate copy where they could keep one, give one to the kid. I like that idea. So I am making a form which will be available to you, where you can write down what your consequence is, the timeline, and all that kind of stuff. On the third tardy, I do need you to call home. Some of you may decide that that's your second tardy consequence is just to call home. That's okay. Just note what it was. But on the third, I definitely need you to call home because it's becoming a pattern. If you give a consequence of like a 15-minute detention on a second tardy, I would up it on the third tardy to a 30-minute or whatever. Again, you get to pick your consequences, but I do need you to keep record of it because when you send them to the office with the office referral on the 4th tardy, I need you to write what you gave them for the 3rd tardy and 4th tardy. Okay. Now, if you give a detention for a student and they skip out on it, that is an office referral. Okay. Office referral for skip detention, not for the tardy situation. So keep that in mind. Starting with the 4th tardy and up, you will send them with an office referral and you can see the consequences that are listed below. For excessively late tardies, that's our 10 minutes plus or first period each day, 20 minutes plus. Here is a list of the consequences that we're going to give out. We deal with all of that, okay, because they're sent to the office and get a referral or a pass and stuff from us to go to class. So these are the consequences that we're going to implement. Anyway, I hope that you understood all of this, that it was clear. If not, please do not hesitate to email me. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me, or give me a call, 7810, or come down and ask any of the attendance people any of the questions that you have. All right, thank you for listening. Let's all work together to make this a great year. Thanks.